Welcome to the Drive to Draw podcast. My name's Pete once again, joining the studio here with Phil Fechner. And, mate, we're getting ever so close to episode number 10. We're getting into double figures here,
double figures.
Exactly right. Mate, as we ask every week, how did you go this week or this weekend, mate?
Bit of each. Saturday, played Playford at home for the last time on the Walkerville Greens.
Yes, I did see them top dressing them.
Yep, gone. The clubrooms start getting pulled down. So we played Playford. Team just went down, and I had a good win. So happy with that part of it.
Yep. Who are you playing with on Saturday? I know I'm asking a question without notice here.
Who am I playing?
Yep.
With
Who's in your rink?
The Darzin boys.
Yes.
One Darzin was out Saturday. And who else have I got? I've had a sort of Alan Murphy.
Yes.
Alan Murphy's been leading. So, yeah, it's been a bit.
So they've had to carry you a few times, mate.
Yeah, they've carried me right through, yeah. So try and mix it up.
Just a few times, mate, just a few times.
And then today, funny old day,
Wednesday,
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was wet and then windy and then a little bit humid.
Where I was on the beautiful greens of Para Hills.
Okay.
Nice. Enjoyed it there.
Yep, haven't bowled there for a couple of years. But,
other than wind.
Yes.
Team 1, rank 1. Last bowl of the day, though, 21-20.
Mate,
so.
I heard that you played a bit of a cracker shot with 2 ends to go. Is the rumours true?
Rumour is true.
I
won't go on about it.
No. Absolutely well done and congratulations, obviously, there Saturday
it's been a good week.
and Wednesday as well, respectively.
Thanks,
mate, before we kick off on Around the Greens, we have to pay homage, I suppose, to a fantastic achievement here in South Australian Bowls. The 2024 Bowls Awards night was actually held on, I think it was Monday night, it was. And the Hawthorn Bowling Club not only took out Club of the Year here in South Australia, but they joint winners with Club Helensvale up in Queensland for Club of the Year.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to the Hawthorn Bowling Club.
Go.
Yeah. Very, very well done. If you want to have a look at the speech that the president gave, that's available on our socials as well. That only just got published as far as the interview went today, so we've popped it up on our socials.
Very
so
good.
Congratulations to Hawthorn there. Fantastic club, obviously doing some pretty good things there on and off the green, which their president sort of talked about.
Which is good.
All right, mate. Let's scoot into Around the Greens.
Around the Greens.
All right, mate, we better kick off with the Premier League. Round 7. We finally got through 7.
Almost halfway.
Here we are almost at the halfway mark. Let's talk about some results.
Yep, no worries. Somerton 90, Grange 51. So it's quite a good win there to Somerton. Josh Studham 27 to Benny Bowman 8. West Lakes, good game here. West Lakes versus Holdy. West Lakes 78, Holdy 71. Jimmy Gregory 25 to Matt Rossi 13. The next game, Modbury 77 to Lockley's 59. Gary Meekham's 27 to Steve Jones 15. Ascot 94 to Hawthorn 70. So it's pretty solid win there to Ascot.
Yeah, just building very, very nicely at the moment.
Brett Davis, 29 to Cole Watkins, 14. And the last game of that round was Salisbury, 49 to Adelaide, 94. Mitch Walker, 8, and Corey Hicks, 26. So that's the games from round 7.
All but the West Lakes and Holdfast games were a little bit one-sided, which I didn't predict going into this round. And, you know, obviously we talk about the tips a little bit later on, and there would have been a few that would have probably got the result right, but they would have got the scores because you do get a chance to pick the 1 to 6, 6 to 10, and et cetera, et cetera. It'd be very interesting to see if anyone did pick any of those big wins.
Yeah, I reckon I only got one wrong. I reckon I tipped Holdy to beat West Lakes, but from memory. But that's all good. So as you go on to the ladder, Pete.
Yes, mate.
Somerton 7 and zip. Sorry.
Just before we go on with that, who is the team?
Yep.
Again, question without notice. Who's the team that could break Somerton's unbeaten run at the moment?
I reckon they're sitting second.
Right, Ascot Park.
Ascot 5 and 2.
Yep.
Grange, I reckon, just off the pace, just a fraction, 4 and 3.
Yes.
And Hawthorn probably that Grange sort of,
Yep.
around that mark, really. I reckon Ascot and Somerton are my two standouts at the moment.
At the moment. We've obviously got Grange, Hawthorn, West Lakes and Adelaide sort of making up that middle part of the ladder. Who potentially takes that third and fourth spot out of, say, those 4 teams?
I reckon Adelaide will still come up yet. They're starting to get a settled side. Kate Argent-Bowden's not in yet.
Yep.
She's still over New Zealand.
New Zealand,
yep.
or just come back from New Zealand.
Come back.
Congratulations to her on taking home a gold medal somewhere in there.
Yep. And Scotty's obviously back, and I mean, they'll settle down. John O'Voigt's had his first win for the season, so he's starting
he's away now.
Yeah, he'll find his feet down there. So
and Nathan Black obviously playing.
Yeah,
and
Blackie, that's right.
Well.
Yeah, he'll get a few more games under his belt.
I did sort of say at the beginning of the year with our pre-season predictions, I did say Adelaide would be somewhere in that mix. I just didn't know where.
I agree.
So you reckon they might pop in? Who's the other team that you think might just get the chocolates there?
Oh. In the 4?
Yeah, in the 4.
I think it might be Grange. I reckon they might just knock Hawthorn out.
I think it's going to be between Grange and West Lakes.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I think Hawthorn are going to be a little bit stiff, but I reckon Grange and West Lakes haven't quite fired like they have, like they did last year. And again, it's a new year, new teams. Hawthorn are around the mark as well, and it's going to be a real toss-up between those games, between Hawthorn and Grange, Hawthorn West Lakes, Grange West Lakes. To see which one of those teams does make the 4. So you're sort of thinking maybe Grange?
I reckon Grange. I reckon Adelaide will finish 3rd, Grange 4th.
Yep. I'm going to go Adelaide finishing 3rd and West Lakes by the barest of margins finishing 4th and Hawthorn finishing 5th by the barest of margins. That's how close it's going to be.
Yeah.
Yep. And then followed by Grange. So it is going to be very interesting, mate. Obviously, Modbury really needed a win to sort of get their season going, and they did that against Lockleys.
Yep, they certainly did, 77-59.
Yep.
So, do you want to go on to this week's tips?
Yeah, mate, let's roll on to them.
Round 8.
Fire away.
First one, Adelaide v Lockleys.
Adelaide for me, please.
Adelaide for me. West Lakes v Modbury at West Lakes.
I'm going to go West Lakes.
West Lakes for me. Holdie versus Somerton.
Crazier things have happened.
Yep.
But not this week. Somerton for me.
Somerton for me as well. Hawthorn versus Salisbury.
I'm going to go Hawthorn.
Hawthorn for me.
And in our game of the round.
The Grange boys take on Ascot at Grange.
I'm going to go Ascot.
I'm going Ascot as well.
Yep. Key matchups there. Do you think Robbie Flavel's been in good form for West Lakes? Mark Haynes is obviously a stalwart of West Lakes.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Flavel.
Yep.
So, I mean, they've got a pretty good side, solid side.
Ascot on conversely. Seamus is back from playing over in Indonesia, I think it was, for the Asian Championships. And also, I think in New Zealand as well.
Second game?
Second or third game.
Yeah.
Mitch Percy. So there's some really good matchups there that could be a really good game to sort of be part of. And
certainly would be.
Like coming up on our past players, past legends, Craig Goldfinch sort of said that some footage would be fantastic. Wouldn't it be great to have that as game of the round?
Absolutely.
All right, mate.
Yep.
Let's move on to Division 1.
Divi 1.
Yeah, let's roll through them.
Not really many upsets, I don't think, there, Pete.
Well, for me, the big one at the moment is Woodville. They've come down from Premier League last year, struggled to get going a little bit this year, and once again, they struggled against Modbury.
They did. Woodville 75, Modbury 102. That's a real solid win. Again, we've got Patrick McGuinness 29 over Sav Marafiotti 19. Mm-hmm. Good game here, just next door.
Yes.
Paynham 75, Henley 80. Candice Rayson 16 to Terry Stringer 23. So it's all rinks pretty close there. That's the biggest winning rink. This is, I think I tipped Millswood. Millswood 51 to Port Nalunga 102.
I reckon I tipped Millswood at home as well.
Yeah. Brad Holt 9 to Brad Napper 30. So fair old hiding handed out there.
Yep.
Marion, as I said, my top side, 91. Defeated bottom side, Toorak 66. Kenny Hotham, the old grey mare, 29 over... Oh, even Graham there, Gary Miles 11. So
Yep.
couple old stages there.
We would have loved to have been a fly on the wall for the conversation happening at that end.
And the closest game of the round, and I think we probably predicted that, Tranmere at home, always a tough ask. 82 to Somerton 85. Roger Carl 14 to Jason Hallows 30. So it's a pretty big win there to Jason.
Absolutely. Interesting there that Club Tranmere, we did talk about some home ground advantages. Hasn't quite worked out for Woodville this year, but Tranmere are handling themselves very, very well.
Yeah, certainly at home. As I said, I like those Tranmere greens, but they're always a bit tricky. Can be a bit tricky. So
and Port Noarlunga have just got going as well. I know they had a big win, but they've
sitting third,
been a little bit slow to just sort of get going. But now they look like they're hitting their straps and could challenge. And a bit like we said in the Premier League, who's the one team that could challenge
to get
Marion to maybe have their first loss?
Oh, it'd have to be Somerton, I would say.
Yep.
But Port Noarlunga and Mills would just seem to be just that little bit back off those other two. But
all right, well, let's go through the ladder, mate.
The ladder: Marion at 7 and zip, Somerton 5-1 and 1, Port Noarlunga 5 and 2, and Millswood 4 and 3. So that's the top four at the moment. I don't reckon that'll change. There you go.
That's an early call with only 7 rounds down. I don't think it will change the top four anyway. Maybe jockeying for positions, but they'll probably be the four that'll make it. The only team that could potentially pop up in there is Tranmere with some of that home ground advantage. Henley, haven't seen enough of them this year. I'm actually playing fours with Buddha on Sunday, so I'll get the lowdown from the from Henley.
Much, old Bud.
Yeah, so
he keeps it pretty quiet.
He does, but he's looking forward to having a bit of a roll this weekend. So fantastic. All right, mate, we better go on to this week's matches.
Round 8, probably the match of the round, I reckon. Somerton and Port Noarlunga at Somerton.
I'm going to go Somerton.
Somerton for me.
But it's only going to be a very narrow margin.
Yeah, I reckon you're right. Payneham versus Millswood at the Payneham deck.
Well, we did mention last week that there was a star player that was making their return. Everyone rang me and said, "Are you moving back?" And unfortunately, it wasn't
me. They didn't ask me.
It wasn't me.
Star you're talking about?
Ozzie Cunningham was the player. Yep. Obviously, just having his third child there and trying to juggle work and family and everything else that's going on, was able to lend a bit of a hand last weekend. And what a luxury having him just slot in at number 2. But I'd say that if he plays a couple more games, he might be skipping, I would imagine.
So who are we picking there?
I'm going to go the home ground advantage. I'm going to go Payneham, mate.
I'm going Millswood.
Yep.
Henley versus Woodville.
I'm going to go Henley.
Henley for me. Toorak versus Tranmere.
I'm going to go Tranmere.
I'm going Tranmere. Modbury versus Marion.
Marion for me.
Marion for me.
I wonder whether they'll play on the dome, under the dome or on the grass.
Good point.
Isn't that such a luxury to have when you do have those type of
well,
surfaces?
when under the dome's quite playable. It's quite nice under there.
Yep.
But it
should be very interesting. All right, mate, we better take a very, very quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk around the regions.
Liking this podcast? Please like, rate, and subscribe.
All right, mate, as usual. All right, mate, as per usual, we take a bit of a look around the regions, and once again, we're going to have a look at the Barossa and Light.
The Barossa and Light. Round 8, Pete. Tanunda played Mount Pleasant. Tanunda, 93 Tanunda, Mount Pleasant 77, so it wasn't a bad game. Mm-hmm. Neil Stewart getting over Brendan Tahini 18. So it's not a bad game, like it's third versus second to bottom.
Yep.
Newry.
The mayor of Newry.
Yeah.
Is he on the scorecard? No.
Does not get a mention. Newry 76, played Freeling, 53, so not too bad a game there. Robbie Gropey was the highest winning rink there, 23 over Alex Bryan, 10. The match of the round, which we predicted Angaston to get up.
Yes.
Yadunda 65 versus Angaston 81. Jimmy Mader 13 over, lost to Matt Short 25, so a good win there for Shorty.
Yep.
The last game of the round was Lindock 74 versus Kapunda 79.
Ooh.
After we, I'd given Lindock a big wind up.
You did.
They're on the go.
You did.
And Harry Sykes 9 versus Cat Green. I privilege of playing with Cat on Sunday at Newry.
Yes.
Cat Green 24. So a big win to Cat there. I think it was Harry's first loss for the year too. So, yeah.
I'm sure Cat wouldn't have minded inflicting a little bit of pain there.
Yeah, and quickly, talking to one of the Lindock guys, heard that her son Jaden, Cat's young son Jaden, played at 3 and was just all over it all day. So it's a credit to young Jaden, only 11 or 12 years of age in the state under 18. So he's coming along quite nicely there.
Pretty handy to have a young fellow like that playing at number 3 and around the mark.
Yeah, and Noah, well, he leads he's only 8 or 9.
Yes.
He leads in the second side. Yep. So, yeah, he's coming along all right too.
Look out for the greens.
Yeah, pretty good pedigree though.
Absolutely.
So the table looks like this. Yadunda still just hanging on, 5-2-1. Newry have jumped up to second, 5-3. It's going to be repeating myself here a bit. Angaston 5-3, Lindock 5-3, and Tanunda 5-3. So the 4 is right up in the, we're only halfway, but it's up in the air, isn't it?
It is indeed. All right, let's get on to this week's games, mate.
Some good games here. Kapunda play Yadunda, the game of the light, out of the light, at Kapunda under the big
The
hanger.
I think we call it the hanger.
The hanger, we call
have
it
to
the
get
hanger.
it confirmed. It is the hanger?
Oh, I don't know. That's what we call it.
Well, their footy team is black and white.
No,
black and red,
Yep.
like Essendon
Bombers.
or the
Yeah,
Bombers.
the Bombers.
So the hanger,
Bombers hanger.
sounds about right.
Yeah, I reckon.
Yep.
Kapunda Yadunda.
Kapunda.
Oh, wow. I'm going Yadunda. It's at Kapunda, though.
Mate, you've just given Cat Green and Jaden and
I know.
you've given them a pump up
I've
and then
jumped
you've
off.
just jumped straight off. Sorry, who was that again?
So I went Yadunda.
I'm going to go Kapunda.
Yep. Freeling and Tanunda at Freeling.
Freeling for me.
Freeling.
Wow.
Tanunda for me. Mount Pleasant.
You know I'm taking the piss, right?
Mount Pleasant versus Lindock.
Mount Pleasant for me.
Lindock for me.
Yep.
Newry versus Angaston. Now, I'm out of Newry, if I can pick who I like here.
I'm going to go Newry.
I'm going Angaston.
There you go.
So I'm out of there.
To be totally different this week, mate.
And can I just quickly say, Pete, the tournament up at Newry, very well run.
I did want to cover that, yes.
Yeah, very well run by Brenton Brown and his crew up there. Had a absolute great day. 1-2, lost 2. We finished about midfield probably. Mm-hmm. But Mill was sensational and got to catch up with the mayor. He was running around there like
organising everything.
Heap of keys in his pocket.
Yep.
And, like he had the keys to the towns.
Yes.
So it was a good day.
Absolutely,
Yep.
mate. You did ask me to pop out there, but unfortunately Sunday still a bit busy with everything going on at work at the moment. Bowles has taken a bit of a back seat, but hopefully this week we'll be back on the green in some way, shape or form, especially with the State 4s being on Sunday. All right, mate, let's have a look at the hot shots for this week.
See if he can just find that gap there, and he's done it beautifully.
That is a great shot.
Bit of a hop in his step here. He likes the look of it.
Great ball.
High five. He likes it.
The weight looks great here. It's
What a great bowl
a
that is.
clutch shot from Ashley Close. Bang, right on the money.
To support. Good night for a couple.
Craig Mills having a good look at this one.
Oh,
Gets the jack nicely. What a shot. Beautifully tucked away there.
Liking this podcast? Please like, rate, and subscribe.
All right, mate, let's move on to the state events coming up this weekend. As I previously mentioned, the state fours being played this weekend for the men's and the ladies. The men's currently being played or will be played at Holdfast and Henley. So it should be very interesting. There's about 11 sections there. So by this time, playing at Henley. So I haven't played at Henley for about 12 months or more, so really looking forward to it.
So your rink is Buddha and...
Buddha, myself, young Billy Benchick and Cole Watkins. So really looking forward to that. But probably the rink that's probably for the men's anyway, that's piqued the interest is Simon Gitter-Johnson, Matthew Northcott, Ashley Close and Max Kleining.
Fair rink, yes.
Be hard pressed to probably beat that rink.
Who'd be leading there?
I reckon Simon, because he's a country player.
Oh, okay.
I think, but again, when the teams enter these into the event, you can play in any order you want.
Oh, okay.
I think apart from the skip, I believe they have to be from Metro region because it is Metro.
Yeah, in the Metro,
In the Metro. We could go through some of the country rounds, but we won't. The women's will be played at the Marion Bowling Club. Again, Marion putting their hands up for another event. So there's 4 sections there. So, again, we're going to get a pretty good idea as to who's moving forward to the Champions Week, obviously, by this time next week. So good luck to all teams involved. All right, mate, let's move on to our players' interview.
Players interview.
Welcome to the 22nd and the players' interview tonight. We're great privilege to have Craig Goldfinch on board from the Edwardstown Bowling Club. Welcome aboard, mate.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Finchy, how are you?
Yeah, things are well.
Good. Where'd your bowls start, Finchy?
Yeah, how old were you? And we'll go from there.
Where'd we start?
Well, I started my bowls at Marion, started playing night hours when I was about 20 years old. Realised I was half decent at it and signed up for pennants. From that point on, I spent my first 4 years at Marion and then moving over to Holdfast Bay, and that's where I spent my last 10 years before the move this year to Edwardstown.
Mate, was it family that got you involved at night hours, or did you just sort of live near Marion and then decided, what, on a Tuesday night I want to go down there and have a bit of a drink and a bit of fun there, and then all of a sudden it snowballed from there?
Yeah, well, it was actually my grandparents that invited me to come play with them. So, and I've always lived southern suburbs, so always pretty close to Marion, and so have they. And yeah, I realised I couldn't do soccer to the same level I was, and that's what got me into bowls, because I still wanted to do something competitive.
Absolutely. What soccer club were you playing at as a junior?
My longest stint was at Cumberland United, and also played for Port Adelaide and Noarlunga.
There you go. I remember many moons ago, Finchy had a year at Marion with you.
Oh yeah, that was quite some time ago.
It was a fair time ago.
Clearly they kicked you out first.
I can only last a year.
They kept the young fella and got rid of the old fella.
No, I think Finchy I reckon you went the year I went. I reckon you moved over to Holdy.
I think there was quite a exodus that year.
Yeah. So anyway, enjoyed the year I had with you. Had a bit of fun, but didn't last long.
Yeah, short-lived.
Yeah.
Mate, obviously you started at Marion. A couple of players that you sort of got involved with that you still sort of cross every now and then on the bowling green?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The likes of Stewie Forbes, the Mayor of Newry.
Oh.
Yeah, and Ashley Close, they're probably my two biggest mates, but a good crew like Max Kleinig and Matthew Northcott, just to list off of a couple.
Yep.
Brady Slater as well. Yeah, all of those guys, we sort of all moved and joined it up together.
You obviously had a bit of success there at Holdfast when you did move with that crew of players.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, won a couple of pennants. A few people put a question mark on one of the years, but I still feel we were favourites that year. But yeah, no, had some great success, and yeah, love the the group that we had down there.
And Edwardstown now, are settling in there?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I've got a bit of joy back into the sport. You know, the last couple of years have been a bit tough, and yeah, decided to take a little bit of a step back and try and enjoy myself again.
Yep. Keeping Johnny Nicola in tow there, I hope.
Yeah, we're keeping him in check.
Good.
Trying to stop him from driving too much.
Good luck with that. Oh God.
What's it like playing with Craig Mills when he does make himself available to play for Edwardstown?
Oh, it's always a good experience. Millsy and I have had a good number of battles, so we sort of know what each other's about. And you know, he's actually really quite supportive. Throws some good words of encouragement my way, and yeah, absolutely love the support with him next to me as a skip.
Well, the reason I asked that is that you've probably locked horns plenty of times as opposition players, but now you're actually teammates, which is what the sport's about, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite the change. I never expected to play in the same squad as him, and here I am now and enjoying it.
Absolutely. And you're sitting top down there, so it's going all right?
Yeah, we're having a good year. We don't want to count our chickens yet, but you know, we're one game at a time, as you always do with any sport.
You got Millsy all year, or does he miss a couple in between there?
He's missed a good portion of the start of this season.
Okay.
He's away this weekend, but he'll be back for I think one or two before Christmas, and then for the rest of the new year. So
yep.
Pretty handy recruit.
Oh.
Your rink, obviously, this year you've got a couple of players that you've played with before, or is it a totally new rink that you've sort of cobbled together and now you guys are firing on all cylinders?
Well, the rink I got is actually sort of translated over from the Master Builders. So I went away with them recently, and they threw our squad together, and most of us from Edwardstown, Phil Hyde and Brad Parker. And yeah, we just threw Garth Saunders in there alongside of us, and we seem to be gelling pretty well.
Love it. Sounds like it's all coming together very, very nicely. Who you got this week? Just out of curiosity, I haven't had a chance to look at the draw yet.
Happy Valley.
Happy Valley at home or away?
At home, yeah.
At home. So anyone in the area that's not having a bowl this weekend, drop into the Edwardstown Bowling Club there. I'm sure you'll be able to get a drink and watch some pretty good bowls.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Mate, moving on, obviously we touched on it briefly, your time at Holdfast. 10 years is a fair while to be at a club. Obviously saw a good chunk of the players stay together during that time, but then obviously, players have gone back to country and moved on to some other clubs and some for work reasons. Just talk about your time finishing up at Holdfast there after a very successful period.
Well, I feel like I gave my all to the club. I've seen players come and go, mentored, been mentored, the likes of Kane Cools, and that when I first started was a great mentor to me. I ended up taking a few other people under my wing and playing alongside of some of the younger recruits like Josh Studham and Jaden Zeller, supported them and as much as they supported me. And yeah, I really just gave all I could for the club. As a few people knew, I was running tournaments for quite some time down there, and still have a lot of love for the club.
You won a club championship, racking me mind back, I think, didn't you? One?
Yeah. I've won 2 club singles.
And Holdy?
Yeah, Holdy, yeah, both at Holdy. So had to do it pretty tough. I feel like I was pretty well an underdog the year I ended up winning it the first time, but then the second time I was going in as a favourite. So,
who did you play against in both of those, mate?
So the first one was against Jared Goodwin, and then the second one was against Tristan Griffith.
Very handy in their own right.
Yeah,
As a player, obviously winning a pennant is probably pinnacle, and club singles is next. How have you gone in the state events over the years, mate?
I've been bridesmaid a couple times. Finished runner-up in the state pairs a couple of years back with Stewie, and then also made a state fours final, but losing out to Kane Cools, Sam Dietrich, Sam Denton, and Aaron Bremen. So
Pretty handy.
Fair rank.
Yeah. So that was pretty tough. So I usually make it through to the knockout rounds. A good majority of the time, but yeah, as I said, I've been bridesmaid a couple of times there.
Well, the mayor of Newry has been getting a fair workout here tonight. We're going to have to get him on here. But, mate, you got to give us some dirt on Stewie so that way we can get him on and he can throw some back.
Well, I don't know where to start.
You might have to do that off air. I think some of that probably isn't for on air.
No, good.
Stewie is absolutely one of my best mates, and when you put the two of us together, we're a nuisance to anyone that comes up against us.
Stu can be that by himself.
Yeah, I know. He doesn't need egging on, but I certainly help.
Now, mate, I was lucky enough to be a teammate of yours during the SA Super League a few years ago there. Just go through your experiences there, and do you sort of wish that we still had that going?
Yeah, I think it was a great concept. You know, South Australia is a bit behind in the way of bowls broadcasting, and I'd very much like to see a lot more of that. I thought it was a great sort of pathway to bring people together, and yeah, absolutely loved having the cameras around.
Mate, we're going to play some, as part of your interview, we'll put a little bit of video footage up of a couple of your exploits there when the cameras were rolling. Would you like to see that more and more, obviously, for not only Premier League, but say Division 1 games, and also state tournaments?
Yeah, I would like to see a bit of that. Maybe look at a way of broadcasting the ranks, sort of what they do like in Melbourne and New South Wales. I see a lot of their coverages, so I'd very much like to see something like that come into South Australia.
Be fantastic, mate. What are you up to work-wise these days, mate?
Just started a new job, working at J Car Electronics, just as a salesman. I was working pest control, but I felt my time was done in that field. So, but yeah, I'm just looking to sort of settle myself down again. A few people thought I would be moving on from South Australia to things up in Queensland, but didn't quite pan out. So I guess South Australia stuck with me.
Fair enough, mate. Sorry,
You're
go,
right.
Phil.
Married, girlfriend, kids?
Nah, single's a Pringle.
Okay. Ready to mingle.
Ready to mingle, that's exactly right.
I think I'm going to have a bit of a break after some recent drama.
Okay.
Fair enough, mate. Like we like to ask all of our players, what bowls are you currently using at the moment?
Dreamline XGs. Just got myself a new set for this season. So,
would it be in the blue and white colour of Edwardstown?
No. I got the limited edition redback, so they're red and black with a bit of speckle through them.
I like it. Mate, you obviously got into the sport, but how many times a week are you getting out there and having a bit of a practice? And what's your favourite part of the sport?
So Friday nights is always my practice session, and then I'm usually out there maybe. If I've got the time, I'll jump into a Wednesday pennant, but Saturdays and Sundays, I'm pretty well out there playing some sort of a game. Yep. Favourite part of the sport? Well, just
mine's winning.
Well, if you take out the obvious,
yes.
It's a bit of a challenge against yourself, really. Plus, throwing in a few tactics and getting to show off a little bit's kind of fun. So I do enjoy that.
Absolutely. Mate, if there's one thing you could improve about bowls, let's just keep it local here to South Australia. What would you like to see change?
I think we're ready to sort of condense the sport down a little bit, instead of maybe the 4 rinks in the top divisions, go back to 3 and try and strengthen that league again. So, yeah, try and really get the most out of it. And so maybe have a premier and a reserve. So you have like a top and second side playing off sort of on the same nights against the same teams.
Yep. Sounds good. What's the biggest challenge for bowls at the moment, do you think?
biggest challenge at the moment, probably just maintaining my consistency, and of course trying to do well in state events when I go to enter them.
Sounds good, mate. All right, let's get on to some general questions. Which other teams do you support in AFL, EPL, basketball, baseball? You go in whatever direction you want to go for, mate.
Well, I'm a big Liverpool supporter, have been since birth.
All right,
So
we're cutting him off now. No, he's done. Chelsea all the way, mate. But anyway, that's okay.
Yep. So that's pretty much the only team that I sort of support, and do support Adelaide United as well, but a little less so than, of course, my favourite Liverpool.
Yep.
What about AFL?
Surprisingly, not an AFL person.
Okay.
I do like to watch it, but I don't sort of have myself a team.
Fair enough.
Sits on the fence. Whichever team wins, you're joining in with the winning team. I like it.
Yeah, I barrack for the underdogs, or if someone likes a team, I'll barrack for the other one.
Fair enough, mate. Do you have a pre-match meal that you like to have?
Not really. Maybe occasionally duck down to Macca's for a cheeseburger or something, but no actual ritual.
No, fair enough. That's all right. Childhood sporting idol. Who did you sort of look up to as a young fella?
Would be Steven Gerrard.
Pretty fair. Pretty fair idol to want to try and emulate a little bit. Yeah.
Absolute leader on the pitch, and just the way that he can sort of bring teams up with him. Sort of I try and translate into what I do for my teams.
Absolutely, mate. And the last one, which is always the biggest and best question of them all, if we're to make a movie about Craig Goldfinch, who is going to be the lead actor?
Oh, who would be the lead actor? I actually don't know. I really wouldn't have a clue.
Well, what's your favorite movie?
Probably The Matrix.
Okay. So Keanu Reeves, maybe.
Yeah. I don't think he's got the age on his side anymore, but maybe a bit of CGI in there. We could work something in.
Yeah, I like it. All right, Keanu Reeves and The Matrix it is, starring Craig Goldfinch. Absolutely love it, mate. Mate, thanks very much for joining us on the Players Interview tonight. As we like to do is get to know players that have not only been in bowls for a little while, but also, different clubs. And the Edwardstown Bowling Club have got an absolute ripper in you, mate, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys.
Good luck, Finchy.
All right, mate. Thank you very much. We'll catch up with you on the green.
Yep, that we will.
And we thank Craig Goldfinch there for his time today and talking all things sort of bowls, and a little bit of fun towards the end there with, who's your favourite movie star, and if someone's to play you. We sort of got there in the end with our first real good nomination there with Keanu Reeves with a bit of CGI work.
I was going to say Stewie Forbes for a minute.
We might have to get the mayor on to throw a little bit of crap back his way. But if you hadn't seen last week in our players interview, we had Barry Lester. We did play that entire interview. We might actually rework that interview into two smaller bite-sized sort of interviews and play that over the next couple of weeks. So keep an eye out on our socials. And like we've already played so far, if you haven't done it yet, please like, rate and subscribe. The numbers certainly help us attract some sponsors and obviously keep the wheels moving as far as this podcast goes. So, mate, we thank Stewie and look forward to our next lot of interviewees over the next couple of weeks. Let's move on to the extra ends. All right, let's go to the extra ends. These are the same tournaments that we've got from last week. We do want to give them another shout out.
We do.
But I've got a couple more to throw in there as we go along, mate.
So we've got the Modbury Open Fours, Saturday, 21st of December, 9 for a 9:30 start, $120 per team. Ascot Christmas Triples, Saturday, 28th of December, 9:30 for 10 o'clock start, $60 per team. And I did mention one last week, and I think I mucked it up in here. Mm-hmm. Across the border, tournament. I said I'd give them a plug.
Yes.
Yarrawonga Moala Bowling Clubs, $60,000 tournament, huge tournament, Pete. As I said, 16 grand, I think, for the first four if you're lucky enough to win it. 11th of September to the 14th of September, 2025. There's actually two tournaments, two the first day and then two the second.
Yep.
The next 2 days. So I was told them I'd give them a plug. I'll keep giving them a plug each week.
Yep.
And any SA sides, it's well worth the drive over there. It's a beautiful spot.
Is that just fours, or is there pairs, tournaments? And
It's fours on the last 2 days.
Yep.
I can tell you that that much. And I reckon it's a mix.
Mixed.
It's a mix. Yeah,
Yep.
it's a mix. The first two. We didn't go for the first two.
Yep.
We only went for the last 2 days. So a fantastic tournament, well organised and well run and everything. It's just a great time.
Absolutely fantastic. All right, and the last couple of tournaments I've got is the Anguston Bowling Club, the Patsy Hearn Memorial Medley, Friday the 13th of December, 9 for 9:30 start. 1 game of fours, 2 games of 3-bowl pairs, and 1 game of fours. Morning and afternoon lunch, $100 per rink. So
Ladies tournament.
tournament. Actually, just double checking that. I reckon might be invited to. Yes, you are correct. Yeah. Entries due by the 4th of December, so time is running out on that one there. And the second one, mate, is Two Wells on the same day. The Two Wells Bowling Club Ham and Turkey Day.
That's a good day.
You might have to get involved with that one there.
What day is that? The 4th?
That's Friday the 13th of December.
Oh, Friday. I might try and put that one down.
Yeah, 2 bowl triples, $90 per team, dress casual. Get in contact with Paul Candlish.
Paul.
And entries close on the 6th of December. So time is running out there. I'm sure that they would love to have a few teams out there. And as you just sort of jumped up and down right there, an absolutely fantastic tournament to be involved with.
Yep, on a Friday, it's a good day.
If I could get time off work, I reckon I might have actually joined in that, but unfortunately, you guys retired. You just got everything working very, very well for you.
Life is bowls.
Absolutely. All right. Well, the BPL finished last weekend. Last week. Congratulations, obviously, go to the Adelaide team, as we've already spoken about. We'll keep you up to date. We do know that some of the clubs for the BPL Cup are coming up and are probably going to start advertising that. Once we've got some information, we will pass it on. All right, let's move on to the national events. As mentioned last week, very, very quickly, the Australian Open coming up June 7 to 20th, 2025. Entries will start to come out online very, very soon, so start to get yourself organised for that. It's a great event. But the big one on the national stage at the moment is the World Champion of Champions, and congratulations go to Laney and Lee Strainer at the moment, who are currently undefeated, but with a couple of very, very important games to come.
Couple big games coming up, but so far so good for both of them at the moment. So good luck to them both.
Day 2, obviously, some of the results sort of, went their way. They are playing on a relatively fast deck.
Oh, okay.
From what I'm hearing, it's about 20-odd seconds downwind and it's about 19 seconds upwind. So it's pretty quick. Laney would have had a bit of experience at Paynham playing on that, so that actually holds her in good stead.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, so congratulations. Hopefully next week we can crown a new world champion. To go along with Scotty Tholburn a few years back there as well, which would be fantastic for South Australian bowls. All right, mate, to finish us off, a couple of general questions and a couple of hot topics. Mate, if you had a magic wand and you were to start pennants again, what would you do to do things a little bit different or to make it a bit more conducive?
Probably shorten the season a bit, I reckon.
It seems to be the prevailing...
Yeah, it seems to sort of drag on a bit, but...
So same number of rounds, but just a slightly shorter season?
No, I reckon less rounds. And then, add those sort of tournament things in at the end, or a Super League or a Super Series or something like that at the end.
Do you think the Taylor's Cup or the Super League could benefit from something like that?
Yeah, perhaps. Yep. I don't know.
8 teams or 10 teams still?
Yeah, I think it's 10.
Yep.
I think we're strong enough still, aren't we, for 10?
Yeah. Do you like the idea of, northern
I do.
Central,
I'm loving
Southern.
this season. Yeah, you just sort of travel around the block sort of thing now.
Yep.
But
Do you like that? Obviously, with let's be honest, an aging population.
yeah,
So
you can't do it in Premier League. You got to have your best
yep,
clubs
so
up there. So
sort of 1, 2, 1 Prem 1 and 2.
yeah,
Still
I think-
maintain that,
I think so.
and then
I
from
think so.
3 downwards.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's pretty
Yep.
fair. I did mention before this idea of maybe split times, especially in that
Yeah.
lowest division,
Yep.
as a development type league would be really, really good. I like sort of throwing a bit of a magic wand around and seeing whether you can come up with something pretty good. And to finish us off, our hottest topic tonight is interstate marquee players. Are you a yay or a nay for it, mate?
I don't think. Do we need it? I don't know. How are we attracting him over? I mean, obviously the club that basically didn't pay. So are you paying him to come over, or it's a bit hard on some clubs. Perhaps haven't the finances.
Yep.
But
I mean, the Eastern Seaboards have the advantage of pokies
yeah,
within their clubs,
absolutely.
whereas our systems around the other way. Our pubs have the pokies and the clubs don't.
Yeah.
But there are obviously financial rewards that go along with not having those pokies, such as grants and bits and pieces like that. So it's a real balancing act, isn't it?
Mm.
So
Yeah, I'm not sure whether
you're a no for it?
Oh, I'd probably say no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
If all being equal, again, throwing the magic wand out there a little, all being equal, that each team could have one marquee player for 3 games, is that a benefit to that club to be able to attract that player?
I would think it would be. But are you paying him, or what's
Well, I mean, these are the little terms and conditions that you've got to sort of work out. Let's just say they are. Let's say that the cap is set at a certain price for that player, and those 3 rounds that they do play in are the same 3 rounds as the other teams.
Yep.
To make it
Yep.
fair. Would you get a bigger crowd at some of those games, which would then help bar takings?
I'm not sure you would.
No?
I don't reckon you would.
This is why I'm throwing it out there and
I don't
asking.
reckon you would.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a hot topic, but I thought I'd throw it out there. I come up with one every week that's
you do.
a bit of a curly one, but it's always
I
fun.
should read that one before when I sit down here.
It's always good to surprise you.
Yeah.
Mate, we might wind things up there. We thank Craig Goldfinch for...
Thanks, Finchy.
For his time tonight on the Players Interview. Mate, I thank you once again, and
Thank
mate,
you
we've got to do better
for
than
putting
this.
up for me.
Yeah, we've got to do better than this, but we are going to get to double figures, I reckon, next week or the week
is it?
after. Yeah, so our 10th episode, I can't believe that we've got this far, mate. Can't wait.
Unbelievable.
We'll catch everybody next week. We'll see you then.
Thank you.
Thank you, mate.